2019 FIM Trial of Nations is the 36th edition of Trial's prestigious international festival, the sports equivalent of a World Cup with national pride on the line. Fiesta and Playa next to Talamanca Beach on the island of Ibiza, home ground for defending world champion Spain. 20 nations from 4 different continents have converged for Trial's biggest one-off event, with 3 titles to be settled over just one day. The World Championship is the original Premier class dating back to 1984 and featuring the sport's 6 professional teams. The women's equivalent enters its 20th campaign this season and also promises a close-fought title race for a coveted set of FIM gold medals. Also notable is the strong semi-professional presence in the International Trophy, which expands the competition to lesser-known nations in the world of trials. World champions every year since 2004, Spain are the team to beat. This season, the top 2 in the world, Tony Bowe and Adam Raga, are rejoined by Gironi Fajardo, completing the all-star side that last rode together in 2015. This is a very strong team, a dream team really. I think we have a great chance to secure another title. We make no secret of the fact that riding here and hopefully winning in Ibiza is a pleasure. It's going to be very different riding on the island, so we'll look forward to it as always and fight for 15 in a row. Through the mid-1990s and early 2000s, the one team to ruffle Spain's feathers was Great Britain. That era is long gone, but with his young teammates Jack Price and Toby Martin gradually growing in experience, James Dable hopes to take the favourites by surprise.
Probably if we have a chance it will be this year, but also along with the other teams because the sections look much easier than normal. For sure, it's not just about trying to dethrone the Spanish, it's also about thinking about the teams behind because they want to do the same. Like I said, we will try our best like always, and if it's enough, it's enough.
France have made a bold step towards the future, reverting to the lineup that could only manage 5th 2 years ago. Teo Kolarov now returns with more experience to chase his first medal. I'm happy personally that Teo is part of the team because he and I are great friends. He lives right next door, so we train together a lot. Teo's learned a lot and improved his level, so I think he's ready to put in some strong results, particularly with the conditions here in Ibiza that are more like an indoor event than a typical trial. So I think we have a great team. Japan have never won the Trial of Nations, and as their golden generation heads ever closer to its twilight, the chase for that gold becomes increasingly urgent for the competition's veterans. I'm the youngest in this team at 39 years of age. Agawa is 43 and Kuriyama is 41, so the average age of the team is over 40. But we have techniques and experience, so I think we can make the top 3. Since their single win back in 1987, Italy have turned into outsiders in the title race. But with their latest trio into its 3rd season together as a unit, they will at least be targeting a move up the pecking order after finishing 5th last year. We've got the same lineup, Petrella, Tourneur and I. It won't be easy because everyone wants to win and we're all fighting for the podium. Italy haven't had one since 2012, so ending the wait for another is our goal in Ibiza. Norway are the perennial underdogs, 6th place their world ranking every year since Japan returned to the Trial of Nations in 2015. The target has always been the top 6, but now the German team has dropped down, it will realistically be hard for us to avoid being last this year. Spain's Invincibles feature the returning Adam Raga. Great Britain are one of 3 teams unchanged from 2018's visit to the Czech Republic. Loris Goubion misses out for France, Teo Kolarov returning after sitting out the Trial of Nations last year. Kenichi Kuriyama celebrates 24 years since his debut in the competition. The same team finished 5th in 2016 and 2018 for Italy, and the inclusion of Harald Gunvaldsen is the only change for Norway. A Saturday of shocks in qualifying for the 2019 Trial of Nations, with last season's pole sitters relegated to the back and underdogs Norway upsetting the big guns. Last season, Takisa Fujinami was fastest of all to stun one-shot expert Tony Bowe and top the timesheet. A year on, and the veteran former world champion suffered a galling fiasco for leaving the cause. that contributed to the Japanese team falling to the bottom of the pile. France fared little better, their star man Benoit Bincaz sitting out qualifying and his teammates failing to pick up the pieces. Inexperienced Teo Kolarov dropped a mark in the section, while sixth fastest for Alexandre Ferrer left the 2018 bronze medalists fifth. While France and Japan were tailed off at the back, just 0.05 of a second separated second to fourth. Italy, among three teams to see both riders home clean, just missed out on a top three place as their fastest man, Matteo Grattarola, was picked across the timing beam. Toby Martin put in a standout performance to go fourth fastest individually and record Great Britain's time, soaking up the pressure as his teammate and qualifying expert James Dapel unexpectedly took a dab and managed just 10th. Håkon Pedersen finished qualifying sixth a year ago and recorded an even more impressive third fastest in Ibiza 2019 to take his country to a stunning second position. The Norwegians also saw Sondre Haga over the line, a creditable eighth, to complete a solid first day. But there were no early surprises for Spain after their day one defeat in 2018. Tony Bow and Adam Raga taking first and second on the timesheet to ensure the advantageous final starting position for Sunday's action. A full 5 seconds separate the fastest and slowest times across the qualifying course. Spain 2.5 seconds clear of their nearest rivals. Norway and Great Britain, who finished 5th and 6th in qualifying last year, take 2nd and 3rd in 2019. The 20th edition of the Women's Trial of Nations features the 9 best teams from around the world. Switzerland make only their second appearance, with Italy sitting out this season. Emma Bristow leads reigning title holders Great Britain, who've come to expect a stiff test from host Spain, the only side to feature 3 current World Championship regulars starting as favourites. France, Norway and Germany are the only other teams to have participated every year since 2000. All 3 nations former title winners bidding for podium glory in 2019. Reigning bronze medalist Germany finished off the podium for only the second time in 7 years as they finished 4th in Ibiza. There are no surviving members of the team that took Germany's 2003 and 2005 world titles, and the squad has fallen back further after the retirement of Ina Wilder last season. Sarah Bauer returned for the first time since 2016 to replace her this year, but with an average age of just 21, the TRS-mounted trio have only limited experience in such a high-pressure event. Invig Håkansson and Huldeberg Barkved were part of Norway's last bronze medal effort in 2017, but Erika Melchior secured her first Trial of Nations medal in Ibiza. Emma Bristow is Great Britain's only current Trial World Championship rider, and the rest of the team's race rustiness was shown up on the opening lap as rival Spain pulled into a 6-mark lead. Jess Brown and Donna Fox are far from inexperienced themselves, of course. They were part of the British trio that won the title in 2018, but the retirement of Jo Coles and Rebecca Cook in recent years has made Britain's gold medal ambitions that much more difficult. 2017 winner Spain are the team to beat these days, and with youngsters Berta Abeyan and Neus Murcia getting closer to the top of the world rankings, they have a long future at the top as well. Experienced former world number 2 Sandra Gomez led the hosts to victory in 2019 by a 7-mark margin, securing her 5th title. But this win was particularly special for Murcia, her first gold medal after securing silver on her debut last season. The dry and grippy conditions certainly favoured Spain, as they did 2 years ago. The next task will be to validate this latest success on different terrain in the years to come. Spain recover the title ahead of Great Britain and Norway in the podium places. The USA match their best result in the Women's Trial of Nations, Madeline Hoover's World Championship experience proving invaluable as they secure 5th. We're really happy. Riding here at home is always special. It was a very easy trial, but not the type of ground we're used to. It was so grippy. And because it was so easy, everything was really tense. Section 9 was the toughest. We did well on the first lap with just 2 marks, and on the second, under pressure, we managed just 1, so we're delighted. We've worked hard as a team and enjoyed it.
Trabajando las 3 juntas en equipo y disfrutando.
Spain's 8th title success means they are once again tied at the top of the all-time medal table with Great Britain. The second victory in 3 seasons, both on home soil. Plenty to celebrate for a young Spanish team. The international trophy is the second tier of the Trial of Nations, with FIM World Cup designation. No less than 9 teams have been victorious in this semi-professional category since its inauguration in 1995, and 6 of those fielded a team in 2019. With 7 further teams chasing their first gold medals, making a total of 13 competing countries, this is the largest class at the Trial of Nations. Very often, it proves the least predictable as well. '18 winners Czech Republic finished just 6th in Ibiza, the rocky Section 4 in particular keeping them back from the podium pace. The Czechs were the only top 7 team to drop more than a mark through this section, and in such a low-scoring trial they were unable to make up ground elsewhere. 2019 therefore sees them slip into their worst ever world ranking, just a year on from their 4th international trophy win. In dry conditions in Spain 2017, Australia took their first ever trophy win. 2 years later, and fielding the same trio, they could manage just 5th. The challenging Section 9 proved their sticking point, as 2 of their riders failed it at each attempt, and it put 14 of the team's eventual 18-mark score on the board. Despite dropping a place, the USA made it 3 consecutive seasons on the podium with 3rd. A 5th medal ranking for the experienced Patrick Smargy in his 8th Trial of Nations appearance. Sweden have been runners-up on no less than 6 occasions, and not even the return to the lineup of newly crowned 9 times national champion Eddie Carlson could finally get them into top spots. Nonetheless, after 2 seasons out of the podium positions and a miserable 7th place without Carlson last year, the Swedes were back where they belong on the podium in Ibiza. After 2 consecutive seasons finishing behind unfancied Norway, Germany were relegated from the World Championship for 2019. And as expected, that switch yielded instant silverware. Germany won the international trophy 5 times between 2009 and 2016, twice with their rising talent Franz Kadlec. But after stepping up unsuccessfully to the Premier class, the slate was wiped clean for the new campaign, with Kadlec partnered by debutant Henrik Binder and Paul Ramschessel. Both picked up their first honours as Germany recorded just 1 drop mark all day, remaining error-free under pressure in the final section to keep Sweden at arm's length. Austria validates strong 2018 progress with a 2nd consecutive top 5 finish, only fading from the podium positions on Section 9 of the 2nd lap. Germany dropped their only mark of the day there on the way to honours. The sections were pretty easy, but even with a lot of grip, you have to be focused. We're very proud to have done it.
muss man die Sektionen ernst nehmen und sich konzentrieren. Und das haben wir alle 3 gemacht. Dadurch haben wir bloß einen Strafpunkt gemacht und haben uns einen Sieg holen können.
It's an exact repeat of the podium from Andorra 2015. Germany ahead of Sweden and the USA. Just 7 marks separated them at the end of a close-fought 2019 international trophy. Ibiza's main showground was host to the Trial of Nations paddock and the official start of the event, as well as the first and last sections of each lap. The vast majority of the trial took place in similar sections on the coast, next to the island's main port, creating a spectacular backdrop for this unique competition. With Norway having fought their way ahead of Germany in the world rankings over each of the last 2 seasons, the relegation of their regular rivals assured them of at least 6th position in 2019. Moving further forward, though, proved impossible. They briefly held a podium place after Section 4, but were well adrift of the leaders by halfway through the first lap. Showing the determination that has encouraged them to persevere at World Championship level since their international trophy win in 2010, Norway dug in to make significant improvements to their score chart on the second lap, but finished the day 50 marks short of their nearest rivals. Håkon Pedersen spearheaded the Norwegian effort for the 12th consecutive season, alongside fellow Trial 2 regulars Sondre Haga and Harald Gunvaldsen. It was certainly a baptism of fire for Gunvaldsen, who's still yet to score his first World Championship points in Trial 2 and made his Trial of Nations debut on the toughest route of the contest. Norway still have some way to go, but their continued improvement is to their credit. For the fourth season in the last 5, Italy could only manage 5th position. Their top 2 are both ranked above any of Norway's riders in the Trial 2 World Championship, and they were never really under any threat of receiving the wooden spoon. But Gianluca Tourneur only competes internationally in the European Championship. Luca Petrella is still some way from being able to take the fight to the Trial GP elite. Italy actually held 4th position at the end of the opening lap and sat only 6 marks back from the podium places, but Section 3 proved a major stumbling block, and as the teams around them improved, their score chart actually worsened on the second lap, a total of 45 marks, leaving them 18 back from their nearest rivals. The wait for a first podium finish since 2012 continues. Matteo Grattarola was part of that and 3 other medal-winning campaigns, but his hopes of returning Italy to the top 3 appear gradually to be fading. A disappointing first lap left Great Britain with too much work to do in their battle for a podium place, despite an heroic effort to match Spain on the second run through the course. The same team that took second place in the Czech Republic last year struggled early on to adapt to completely different conditions in the hot Spanish sun. By the time they discovered the keys to Ibiza, they were already 10 marks back from the podium. Even a magnificent 2-mark performance as they dug deep on lap 2 was not enough to recover, their early deficit too great to surmount in such a low-scoring trial. The last time that Great Britain finished as far back as 4th in 2015, the old guard made way for the current crop of youth talent to join the ranks. This, then, is the toughest campaign yet for the new generation. Young guns Jack Price and Toby Martin still have plenty of time to make it at the highest level. Indeed, Price is already a Trial GP regular. But James Dable, after 15 campaigns with the national squad, will know time is ticking on his chances of claiming a Trial of Nations gold. A strong start to the day was key for France to claim 3rd position in Ibiza. They capitalised as Great Britain floundered midway through the first lap and defended their position from there. Section 6 and 11 kept them back from 2nd place, but the reunited 2017 French squad were happy enough just to make the podium. Vindication in particular for the inclusion of Teo Kolarov, who was part of his national side that was alarmingly restricted to 5th 2 years ago, but returned to score his first medal on what was undoubtedly a special occasion for the 23-year-old from Cannes. He and Benoit Pincaz together represent the youth contingent of the French squad, which will now target the top 2 places in the coming seasons. Pincaz rode through discomfort with a hand injury to secure his 2nd Trial of Nations bronze medal. Alexandre Ferrer picked up his 5th. A total of 59 cleans out of 90 sections, France are again a growing power in the world of trials, even if for the moment their wait continues for a first gold medal since 1990. Beaten by 3 teams, each with under-25 youth talents in 2018, even experts could have been forgiven for thinking that the powers of the evergreen Japanese veterans were finally on the wane. Fast forward 12 months, and 2 members of the team that secured Japan's first medal back in 1995 were back on the podium with silver, aged 40 plus. In fact, all 3 members of the 2019 Japanese team were a part of the first Trial of Nations to be held in Spain back in 2000. When they were denied gold by only the dominant hosts. Same story in Ibiza almost 2 decades on, although this time with an even smaller margin to top spot, a product of the lower difficulty level in these World Championship sections. Enough of the history lesson. 60 cleans for the Japanese trio in 2019. World number 3 Takisa Fujinami putting on a masterclass, and Kenichi Kuriyama practically a regular in Europe again, partly thanks to his Trial E commitments with Yamaha. Japan's chances of chasing victory would have been scoffed at by most anyway, but struggles through the indoor-style Section 15 meant they couldn't really keep in touch with Spain. More than half of their 19-mark total was dropped here. Adam Raga missed the 2018 Trial of Nations in favour of Jaime Busto, but made a winning return to the competition whilst equalling Spain's all-time appearance record. In Ibiza, Raga earned his 18th cap, of which 16 have been in gold medal-winning campaigns. The Dream Team was very much reunited on home ground. A 13th Trial of Nations win for Gironi Fajardo, some consolation to end a challenging recent run in his career. There was little to choose between the lead teams on a low-scoring day that ensured the pressure was on throughout, so maintaining concentration and consistency was the only route to the title. While France and Great Britain dropped crucial marks in sections 6 and 15, Spain were faultless there. In fact, only section 9 cost them any marks all day, since each team's worst score is removed at every section under the current ranked format. And had every score been included, the victory margin would have been far greater than the mere 15-mark score separating Spain from Japan at the end of the day. Considered the best 3 riders in the world, the Spanish trio picked up cleans around almost 90% of the course for another dominant victory. A largely home crowd had come to witness Spain walk away with gold medals in both World Championship classes. Spain have been unbeaten for 16 seasons in a row and have now amassed an incredible and likely unassailable 27 gold medals through the history of the competition. With this latest victory, Tony Bowe adds 15 Trial of Nations golds to his 13 individual world titles. Japan, meanwhile, were equally delighted to finish best of the rest, the 5th runner-up ranking of their history, with the same core of their team throughout a medal-winning span of over 20 years. Another close-fought battle for silver and bronze, with 3 teams in real contention, incredibly separated by just 8 marks across a day of 60 scores. Italy and Norway, by contrast, are cut adrift of the lead rankings. We're really very happy with this result. All 3 of us had a good day. We made some mistakes, but we brought it over the line together as a team. We would like to thank the French Federation, who've put a lot of resources into this competition to ensure we had the best conditions to perform. We're so happy with these silver medals. Finishing second in this competition is really like a win, so we'd like to thank everyone who's helped us. It's been a great team effort with a lot of help from Japanese manufacturers, Yamaha and Honda. On a personal note, it caps off what's been a fantastic year for me.
応援していただいて、その最高の結果が2位だと思うので、本当に僕たち最高のチームだと思います。やったぞ！We're
really happy to have won, which wasn't easy because it was a very easy trial and we couldn't really build a gap. The scores were close, but everything went well. This is a great team. Tony Bowe and Gironi Fajardo have never been defeated at the Trial of Nations. Adam Raga now matches the competition's all-time win record. Truly the Invincibles. Spain's class of 2019 once again delivers.